Hi and welcome, my name's Robert Guinan and I'm from Jacob Royals Interiors. We are the open plan kitchen specialists. Now today I want to talk to you about the kitchen island. The kitchen island is probably the most common asked for criteria when we come to designing a kitchen. So today I want to just run through some quick examples that you could apply in your home just to give you that foresight of whether you have enough room to be able to implement a kitchen island. So in this first example, we have a room width of 3 meters. Now 3 meters is actually a good size room. It's not a small size room, but when we actually get into the finite details, is that actually enough to have a kitchen island? Now the answer is yes in this particular example. So what we would do is you would have a galley style kitchen across the back. We could have maybe a fridge here, maybe an oven there, sink in the middle, something like that, and then in here we'd have a kitchen island. Now the kitchen island width would be governed by this space either side. This is what's called our traffic route. Now as a minimum, an absolute minimum, I'd have 900 millimeters or just under a meter. That being said, that would then leave the island to be 1200. Now the reason I would say 900 is the minimum, because the traffic route this is the main way into the kitchen, both as the user and also other members in the family. So you don't want to be out colliding into each other, you don't want to feel tight and claustrophobic in there. So a standard door in your home is, say, between 760 or 860. So 900 is a good size. It's wider than a door, so it gives you a bit of context of how wide 900 is. Anything less than that, it starts feeling really cramped, and it doesn't flow as well. And I have seen it done before where they made it 600. 600 is probably the width of your shoulders. It's just so tight, and the island became too overpowering for the room. It actually ruined how the space looked rather than improved it by just having that kitchen island. So in this example, yes, you can have an island, but worktop space, we only really have this bit in here and then this bit here. As we know from previous videos that I've spoken about, is that the footprint of worktop space should cover more than the floor space. So given again on the same example, so we have a room width, again, of 3 meters. The most amount of worktop space that you could have in this space would be running all the way around the outside, again in a horseshoe or C shape configuration. That we know that the standard depth of units is 600. So that would leave us 1800 in here. From the previous example that we know, just by dividing that in half, that gives us our 900, and that just wouldn't be enough for to even have an island in there. It would be negligible. It wouldn't even be worth putting one in. So this would maximize your worktop space, but it wouldn't give you the island, which is obviously one of the key things that I would anticipate that you're trying to introduce into your new design. So what is the minimum? So based on this example, the minimum we would require is 4.2 meters. This again allows us to have the horseshoe shape around the outside. Again, 600, 600. Then we all know about the critical traffic route. Again, that's 900 either side. And that leaves us with an island of 1200. So you do have lots of worktop space. Obviously that's dependent on where we put the fridge, where we put the hob, where we put the sink, but that would be the most optimum amount of worktop space that you'd have in the kitchen with the kitchen island. 4.2 meters. Now if you don't have a room that is 4.2 meters wide, what are your options? But you really want a kitchen island. If that was the case, my suggestion would be, would you consider a peninsula? So if we go back to the original example of 3 meters. 3 meters. Right, so a peninsula sticks out into the room. So you can still act as that room divide, very much like an island would. Obviously, if the room was bigger, you could have a dining room table, or it could be a living space. You could have a sofa, soft seating, maybe just a play area for where the children's are. The kitchen is still open plan. There's no walls. There's nothing blocking. The island, or the peninsula, just acts as that barrier between the chef, and kind of keeps the chef area in where he needs to be, or where she needs to be, wherever. Or and then the occupants, whether it be the rest of the family, guests, diners, whatever, they stay in this area. So again, we know that a standard worktop is 600 deep. We know that we must, as a minimum, keep 900. This then allows 1500, so it would be bigger than the island that we had. We have more worktop space because we don't have to be worried about the walk route. We could still have a fridge back here. We could still have an oven here. We could have a sink here. You maybe want to put, I don't know, maybe the hob here or the hob here, depending on what was important to you, whether you wanted to face your diners. But the main bit is the worktop space is you've got more worktop space in this configuration still at a 3 meter room width with the peninsula than you would with an island. So the island's great, but what you could still have bar stools again if you wanted people to prop up and perch around where you were entertaining and again cooking and interacting. But as a 3 meter, you can still get the essence of the island, but not necessarily have the island in itself. So to sum up, if you've got a room width that's over 4.2 meters wide, absolutely you can have an island in there, no problem at all. If you have anything less than that, I would seriously consider the peninsula because it will give you the effect. And if you have 3 meters and you're absolutely set on a kitchen island, then you have to be aware that the compromise will be the amount of worktop space that you have. I hope that's been helpful. I will be producing more videos similar to layouts and designs, so if you'd like to follow us on my YouTube channel, or you can catch up with our news and blogs on jacob-roberts.co.uk. I look forward to meeting you again.